Hey there, my golden wisdom friend. You've probably heard that walnuts are one of the healthiest foods on earth, great for your heart, your brain, and even your mood. And that's absolutely true. But there's something few people ever tell you. Almost 95% of seniors, without realizing it, are making at least one mistake with walnuts that can actually do more harm than good. These mistakes don't come from carelessness, but from small habits that have simply never been explained properly. So today, I want to talk to you directly, not as a doctor, not as a nutritionist, but as someone who truly cares about your well-being and wants you to get every bit of benefit this small miracle of nature has to offer. Because walnuts are indeed powerful, but like most powerful things, they work best when treated with understanding and balance. They can be your ally for longevity, sharper memory, and a stronger heart, but only if you know how to use them wisely. Now, here's where it all begins. Walnuts are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and plant-based proteins. They're one of nature's richest foods for the mind and the body. But the way you eat them, the portion, the timing, and how you store them can completely change their effect on your body. When eaten correctly, they improve circulation, balance cholesterol, calm inflammation, and even help support brain function. But when handled carelessly, they can trigger bloating, discomfort, or even interfere with your medications. The difference between a health booster and a health risk is often just a small detail. Studies from Harvard Health show that eating 1 ounce of walnuts per day can reduce the risk of heart disease by up to 15%. But when eaten the wrong way, that same ounce can lose its nutrients or even become toxic if it's stored improperly. So it's not the walnut itself that's dangerous. It's the lack of awareness in how it's used. Imagine this with me. It's a quiet evening, the sun is fading, and you're sitting in your favorite chair. Maybe you've poured yourself a small handful of walnuts while watching television, or maybe you sprinkle them over your morning oatmeal thinking, well, it's healthy fat. How could it be bad? And you're right to think that way. Walnuts are healthy, but here's where things get tricky. As we age, the way our body handles nutrients changes. Our digestive enzymes slow down. Our liver processes fats differently, and our metabolism doesn't move at the pace it did in our 40s. What once felt fine at 40 might not feel the same at 70. Even healthy foods can start to backfire, not because the food changed, but because our body's rhythm did. For example, the National Institute on Aging reports that around 70% of adults over 60 eat omega-3 rich foods or supplements weekly, but less than 1/3 do it safely within the right dosage or timing. Many unknowingly combine walnuts with their medications or store them incorrectly, leading to reduced absorption or increased side effects. That's why awareness is key. You don't need to fear food, you just need to understand it. Because that same handful of walnuts can either fuel your heart and brain beautifully or quietly throw your system out of balance. So here's the first thing to understand. More is not better. Walnuts are healthy, but they're also very calorie-dense. Just 7 walnut halves, 1 ounce, contain around 185 calories and 18 grams of fat. And while these are the good fats your body needs, your digestion slows down with age, which means your body can't process unlimited amounts of them. When you eat too many at once, your stomach may feel heavy or bloated, your digestion may slow, and you might even gain weight without realizing why. So, moderation is the key. The smartest and most effective way to enjoy walnuts is to limit yourself to 7 halves per day. That's your golden number. It's enough to nourish your heart, improve brain function, and support joint health without overloading your system. And when you eat them matters too. Try having them as a mid-afternoon snack when your metabolism is steady. Pair them with apple slices or a small spoonful of Greek yogurt to help your body digest them more efficiently. If you eat them this way, you'll notice that you stay fuller longer and your energy feels more even throughout the day. Now let's talk about timing, because timing is everything. Walnuts are rich in fat and fiber, which can delay how quickly your body absorbs medications. That's not necessarily bad, but if you take heart, thyroid, or blood pressure medicine, eating walnuts immediately before or after can lower the medication's effect. Your body might not absorb the full dose, and over time that can lead to inconsistent results. So keep at least a 2-hour gap between your medications and your walnuts. The best time for most people is mid-afternoon around 2 or 3 o'clock, when your stomach is relatively clear and your energy starts to dip. That's when walnuts give you a natural boost without interfering with your routine. But try not to eat them at night, especially before bed. As you age, your nighttime digestion slows significantly, and eating fatty foods late can trigger acid reflux or restless sleep. Think of walnuts not as a midnight snack, but as a small, mindful meal to support you through the day. There's another detail that most people overlook: how walnuts interact with other foods and supplements. They're full of omega-3s, which is fantastic for your heart and mind. But if you already take fish oil or eat salmon regularly, that's double or even triple the omega-3 intake. Too much of it can thin your blood and increase bleeding risk by almost 40%, according to the National Institutes of Health. Also, walnuts can block the absorption of iron if you take supplements or eat iron-rich foods too close to them. This matters because many seniors are already on the edge of mild anemia. So here's the simple fix. If you take fish oil or any kind of blood-thinning medication, reduce your walnut intake to 3 or 4 halves a day instead of 7. And if you take iron supplements, wait at least 2 hours before or after eating walnuts. It's not about restriction, it's about harmony. The goal is balance, not deprivation. Even the healthiest foods need boundaries when your body's chemistry changes with age. Another hidden mistake people often make is with storage. Walnuts contain delicate oils that are very sensitive to heat and light. If you keep them out on the counter or in a warm pantry, they can oxidize and go rancid quickly. When those oils break down, they form compounds that cause inflammation, digestive upset, and can even stress your heart. The scary thing is you can't always tell just by looking. By the time they smell bitter or taste sharp, the damage is already done. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Food Chemistry found that more than 90% of walnuts sold in bulk bins were already partially rancid within 3 months. That means if you're buying big bags of walnuts and keeping them in the kitchen for weeks, you're probably eating degraded fats. The right way to store them is simple. Buy small batches, enough for about a month. Keep them in an airtight glass jar inside your refrigerator. If you buy more, freeze the extras. Walnuts can last up to a year in the freezer if kept sealed and away from light. Avoid clear containers or leaving them near the window because sunlight speeds oxidation. When you open a fresh batch, smell them. Good walnuts should smell mild and slightly sweet, like the woods after rain. If they smell sour, sharp, or like old paint, they've gone bad. Remember this rule: fresh walnuts smell like nature, rancid ones smell like chemicals. Now there's one more risk that very few people talk about: walnut allergies and contamination. Many believe food allergies only appear in childhood, but that's not true. Adult-onset nut allergies are increasing every year, and walnuts are one of the top triggers. The early signs are easy to miss: slight tingling in your mouth, a bit of stomach discomfort, or a rash you might think is just dry skin. But if ignored, these mild reactions can turn serious over time. And even if you're not allergic, cross-contamination is still a concern. Around 95% of walnut products are processed in facilities that also handle peanuts, cashews, or almonds. For someone with a mild tree nut sensitivity, that's enough to trigger an unexpected reaction. So if you're introducing walnuts into your diet or haven't eaten them in a while, start small. Just 2 or 3 halves a day for the first week. Pay attention to how your body responds: your digestion, your breathing, your skin. Always read the packaging label for warnings like, may contain traces of other nuts. If you notice anything unusual, stop immediately and consult your healthcare provider. Your body always gives you small warnings before it gives you big ones. Listen to those whispers before they become shouts. Now that you know what to avoid, let's focus on what to do right. The secret to success isn't eating more, it's staying consistent. When you build a small daily walnut habit, your body learns to process it efficiently. Your digestion adjusts, your cholesterol stabilizes, and your mind stays sharper. One of the simplest routines you can follow goes like this. Around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, have 7 walnut halves with a few apple slices or half a cup of Greek yogurt. This timing helps you avoid medication interference while keeping your energy steady between lunch and dinner. If you take medications in the morning, skip walnuts at breakfast and have them later in the day. If you eat fatty fish like salmon at dinner or take fish oil, cut your walnuts in half that day. And always store them in the fridge or freezer, sealed tight. You can even lightly roast them for 5 minutes to make them easier to digest and bring out their natural flavor. It's a small ritual, but it has a big payoff. Studies from the Harvard School of Public Health show that older adults who eat nuts at least 5 times per week have a 20% lower risk of heart disease and better cognitive function over time. That means better memory, better focus, and a healthier cardiovascular system, all from a food you can hold in your hand. But remember, it's not about perfection, it's about pattern. Consistency is the foundation of healthy aging. One small handful of fresh, well-stored, properly timed walnuts each day is all it takes to support your heart, your mind, and your energy for years to come. It's the little choices, repeated daily, that build your long-term strength. You don't need to overhaul your diet overnight. Just nurture your body with steady awareness. So, as we bring this to a close, let's go over what you've learned. The most common walnut mistakes after 60 are eating too many at once, eating them at the wrong time, combining them with conflicting supplements or medications, storing them incorrectly, and ignoring allergy warnings. Each of these mistakes can quietly chip away at the benefits you're hoping for. But once you understand how simple the solutions are, you realize that wellness isn't complicated, it's intentional. Your body doesn't need extremes, it needs consistency, kindness, and wisdom. Healthy aging isn't about chasing perfection, it's about understanding what serves your body best today. So tomorrow, when you reach for that handful of walnuts, take a moment to pause, count them out, smell them, feel their texture, eat them slowly and mindfully. Let them nourish you, not just physically, but as a reminder that care and awareness transform everything we do. These are not just nuts, they're nature's tiny messengers reminding you that your best years are not behind you. They're right here, waiting to be nurtured. If this message resonated with you, do something good for yourself and for someone you love. Tap that like button, share this message with a friend who enjoys walnuts, and subscribe to Golden Wisdom so you never miss another moment of calm, science-based, heart-centered guidance for your health and happiness. Next week, we'll be talking about another healthy food that can become risky if used the wrong way: avocados. Yes, even the so-called good fat can go wrong when misunderstood, and we'll show you exactly how to make it work for you. Until then, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep nourishing your best years ahead with awareness, with gentleness, and with golden wisdom.